And we are live.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are so happy you are with us. This is Black Tech Futures Media Weekly Chat, soon to be What the Fungible. Anyway, we're happy that you're with us. And Jamil and I are here with
Two
man?
Wonderful guests, man. We're super excited to have them on. First up, we got Dadrin Sneed, who is the founder of Subsume, also the creative project manager, a creative nonprofit organization aimed for the creator economy. And then we also have Jason Lamb here, legal advisor for GUAPCOIN. Now, these two forces combined together are why we do what we do, to find success and fulfillment and meaning in the creative economy, because that's who we are, where we're at, and where everything's shifting towards, especially with technology and where we're going with it, specifically blockchain technology. So we're super excited to talk about a dope event that's coming up, their part in it. And we're just going to talk about what they do and how they help artists and connecting with collectors and how to just grow this economy. So yeah, let's kick it off. So Dadrin, why don't we start with you, man? Why don't we start with you? So
tell us about Creative Juneteenth, right?
Yeah. Why don't we talk about this summit real quick?
No, thank y'all so very much. I appreciate it and the time to connect with y'all. So Creative Juneteenth came from the idea of, celebrating our creative freedom, like the ability for us to take this holiday, the reality that a holiday that's been around for a while and just, based on a lot of social and political, changes and shifts, now has a lot more prominence over, the past 5 years or so. And in celebrating the, abolition and freedom in one sense, we wanted to look at creative freedom and the ability for the descendants of those, directly affected by these laws and proclamations to see where they could find themselves in the future. So for us at Subsume, we're always looking at the way that story, particularly the story of marginalized voices, are able to be amplified. And as always, resistance has found itself at home in art. And so the idea of art being a medium for change is something that's always been appreciated, and I think for particularly for our people of color, especially the African American experience here in the Americas, that art, whether it be music, whether it be media, whether it be community, or just simply our mode of storytelling and survival, is is part of that legacy. So I wanted to build something that honored that legacy, but also gave us a creative and futuristic point of leverage where we could talk about how do we leverage technology and how we use all of these ingredients to really basically celebrate our wins and talk about the history that's in the making right now. And so there's so many technology shifts and changes, as well as social and cultural, that I think it just bore taking and honoring this weekend and this holiday and just making it a point of reflection and a point of actionable futures.
And what a strong way to do it. And now, so we have Jason here, who is the legal advisor for GUAPCOIN. So now GUAPCOIN is featured in this creative Juneteenth. So why don't you talk about your role in this event and how GUAPCOIN's featured in this?
So GUAPCOIN is the engine that makes this thing go, as far as how people transact, how people get involved with the auctions for the pieces of art that have been converted into NFTs. And ultimately, what we want to do is link up with events like this and with gentlemen like Dadrin to showcase GUAPCOIN and to showcase crypto as a whole, and to show our people how we can get linked in to these things. NFTs they're white hot right now. Everyone's talking about it. Hardly anyone knows what it is. Hardly anyone knows how to take advantage of it. Folks don't know how to tap into this economy. You just see something come across your social media. Somebody sold an NFT for $1 million. Wow, that's awesome. But how did they do it? What did they do? How do we get tapped into this? What does it mean to create an NFT? How does that, and then this is my legal advisor hat, how does that connect to existing intellectual property laws? Those things don't go away when you digitize a piece of art. The same way we went through this change in the 80s and the 70s when digitization first started, we had to think about when you took a piece of art that was on the wall and you made a digitized version of it, what did that mean for the copyright holder? It's the same thing we have to think about with NFTs. We have the creators of the art, and then we have the people who actually make the NFTs for those creators. There needs to be a contract in place, needs to be a license in place, need to spell out how you share revenue. All those things are types of things that we're going to talk about to educate the folks. And ultimately, we want to make sure that GUAPCOIN is a part of this conversation as an act of taking advantage of these avenues and taking part in this type of economy with a Black cryptocurrency is just taking part is an act of revolution. Just taking part in the NFT marketplace on your own without going to a large publishing house, without going to a gatekeeper is an act of revolution. So we want to empower our people to take advantage of these new digital platforms because it cuts out so many middlemen. Like we're at a place now where we can literally go directly from artist to consumer of the art without having all these people, gatekeepers in the middle. And now the true creative, more than ever, is able to capture the value that they create.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we want to, create those highways, keep those on-ramps to those highways open, and make sure our people and the creatives in our circles are able to take advantage. I'm very excited about NFTs, mainly because there's an opportunity here for copyright creators who created works and maybe did not get their just due in years past. You can take an artist who created maybe under a record company, had a great, #1 hit, and their children's children aren't getting the return that they should get. You can roll that thing that, the copyright maybe has expired. You can take that, create an NFT, and now you created a brand new version of that work. And now a community that wants to support that family, wants to support that artist, can decide we're going to spend money on this NFT. And we know that this is going to support that artist in the way that they weren't supported before. So there's some creative ways to think about using NFT marketplaces that can right wrongs. Like we can literally create our own reparations through blockchain and NFTs and not wait for someone else to write the check for us.
Powerful.
So I'm excited about this one app. This is just one way we can accomplish that. NFTs are amazing.
Real quick, just for our viewers, because I like to entertain this right here. What do you explain to people what an NFT is, and in your definition of it? And then Stephen, I'd like to ask you the same.
Simply put, it's another way to own a creative work. And it lives on an immutable ledger called a blockchain, but it's just it's akin to an artist creating a work and doing a limited print run. I'm going to make 5 of these in a limited print, and my little signature is going to be in the corner, and it's going to say 1 of 5.
Right.
It's just doing that in a digital realm.
Boom. That's it. All right. Deidre, what would you call an NFT?
Yeah.
How do you
I think pretty much Jason nailed it. I think what I try to tell artists or people who are interested in acquiring or being part of an NFT is that, you're forever part of the creative journey of that piece of art, right? Wherever that piece goes, wherever it's utilized, wherever it resides and however it impacts, that you're aware, you're cognizant, you're part of that story. So you look at it as an investment of obviously a piece of art, but I think what you're saying is you're forever attaching yourself to that piece of art. So it's a companionship, almost a relationship that you're saying that through this transaction, wherever it moves across the blockchain or wherever it's utilized, that you're there, and so you're investing in a completely different way with the way that art is perceived.
Absolutely. And it's an in perpetuity, right? Like, yeah, it's a forever thing. Yeah, it's a new way to own something. And the best way and the first step use case was art, because a lot of the times artists are the ones that go through these galleries, just get that one-time payment for what? 50% they go have. I'm not really sure what it, but I know it's a staggering amount of the relationship between the galleries and artists, traditionally. But now we're in a space where we can take out these intermediaries and now go direct to a collector, to a consumer who supports this artist, and now can say, I can give the artist all the money. And even if I were to sell this piece, dude still gets a royalty from it. And if that person were to sell that, he still gets that that 10%, 5%, 15%. And it's a beautiful concept. And art and digital artists and just, any type of artist who wants to implement NFTs and take and branch out from their normal medium and to enter this space, it's a whole new world. So leaning into that, why don't you walk us through what this event kind of looks like? Why don't you give us a little sneak peek, Deidre, and Jason, please tune in on what this kind of looks like for someone who might be interested in NFTs and wants to know more about it and wants to check out your event. What can they expect?
I think what you can expect is an easy and engaging way to not only learn about NFTs, but also learn about cryptocurrency in a safe environment with people who work with this every day. So I think our first part is to give that point of accessibility, because as you said earlier, we're hearing about NFTs going for millions of dollars, and it seems to be a constant and consistent part of the media to only highlight these inaccessible amounts of the way that art is, right? And we see that in contemporary art as well, right? A Banksy or something in that note. We only seem to talk about art, in the financial sense when it is of the 1% of the 1%.
Right.
But what we want to do is to make
talking about it
right.
and the magnifying glass on it, right? Yep.
Absolutely. So what we wanted to do, and why we're so excited to partner with GUAPCOIN and the GUAP Foundation, is we're about more cooperative and more community level engagement for this. That you don't have to be a billionaire to trade and be part of this NFT revolution. Likewise, to understand and get your perspective and experience with NFTs does not have to be financially insoluble circumstance. Right. For $20, you can come in and be a part of this. So what we're saying is, GUAPCOIN's been very generous to give of their time and their people to just simply make an open space. If you come into our virtual event, which starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're on our virtual platform that you can find folks that want to just talk to you, right? That aren't here as investors of a financial institution, but investors of you and in the community of trying to make this happen. Absolutely. And so with that, just the first day is just, what is crypto? How do I set up a wallet? I've got $20. What can I do with it? Right. Yes. And it's something that, again, we've all been looking for. I get artists every single day that's hitting me up like, what is this worth? What am I worth? Right. We're trying to establish values in a fantastic economy, but with two sides that typically don't speak to each other, right? The creators don't talk to tech, and tech don't talk to creative. But it's the same. The brilliance of blockchain is that it pulls together and it breaks down silos, right? Things move in a cooperative transaction. And so what we want to do here is just have people aware that the way that we're saying is the future doesn't have to leave you behind. And so first thing first is just to get people enrolled in GUAPCOIN and getting a wallet and getting it at a price point that it invites conversation. And then the next 2 days over that digital space, we'll have not only 2 days of fantastic engagement, through the lens of technology, creativity, and community. We've got, from Hollywood guests to local independent Atlanta artists that come in and we'll celebrate that Juneteenth holiday together. All the while, our virtual space will be open where you can come in, for free and be able to interact and look at the NFT gallery, which at the end of the day is simply just a website link, right? We're just trying to demystify all of this part of the transaction. All the while, you're able to invest and bid on these. I think we have 6 to 7 pieces of art from prominent artist Keith Cross here in Atlanta, Georgia, who believes in this process, believes in the democratization of art. you know,
Mhm.
and for someone whose pieces sell on a certain scale, you know, he wanted to make his art accessible. And so with that, we've got, you know, six key pieces that will be minting into NFTs this afternoon. We'll be kind of going through that part of the process as the overall conversation of how we'll talk about from NFT, from crypto to NFT to you, you know, as the way that we want this program to go. And then as we close our ceremonies on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the high bid wins. So it feels a lot like, you know, the transaction we're introduced with eBay and those things in the early internet, right? So people understand what the concept is. I think it's the apprehension of how do I fit in and can I fit in?
Right.
And I
Right.
think for on both sides, for Subsume and for GUAPCOIN, we're saying there's a place for you, and it's accessible and it's inclusive and it's sustainable. And I think that's where we're trying to build all through all of these places collaboratively. And again, just make it where it's a consistent conversation about how art and yet again another way, you know, is revolutionary.
So you know what? This is so awesome. And it's awesome because it aligns beautifully with what our role and our purpose for existing actually is. With Black Tech Futures Media, we want to amplify the fact that you are doing this, the fact that GUAPCOIN is being featured as the coin of choice for the patrons who are actually experiencing it. The fact that, you know, one of the things that I really want to do is I really want to talk more about collectors on our show. And what's beautiful about the event, the Creative Juneteenth event, is that you're going to be bringing people in who may be collectors of art, but have never done any collecting of digital artworks, have not had the opportunity to be in a space together with other people who love the culture, who enjoy the art, and also who have an interest in crypto, right? So it's a beautiful merging and I believe synergy of a lot of the like-minded thoughts. And we're just excited to find more people who are actually doing it for the culture.
This is what it's all about, right? And to
this is what it's all about.
And to Deidre's point, accessibility is
Yeah.
like the top of mind of who I think of the people that don't know about this space and want to at least enter it. It's accessibility, right? Because the media likes to portray and only tell stories about those high ticket projects, right? The people,
Exactly.
you know, these celebrities that are cashing in on these NFT projects.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about here is, okay, the news is talking about that. That's cool and all. But the technology says that you, me, anybody can access this and still afford it. It doesn't have to be no high bidding of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. That's just what media's covering right now, because you know it's hot news.
Exciting, yeah.
It's exciting press for to at least say, hey, oh, NFTs is a cool thing. But these are the events where it happens on a ground level of getting all these people like me, who I want to become a bigger collector. I just started collecting art in general as of maybe last year. But now with NFTs, it's like, I want it all. I want digital frames all over my crib with hundreds, thousands of pieces that play every day, right? Or that, you know, that switch every day, right? I want 365 pieces of art just so that every single day is something new for me. Like that's how I think about NFTs and what art is going to be in the future, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, we have this freedom to make these types of art, to sell this type of art as just a regular artist who wants to sustain themselves, right? Now, Jason, how does that work with your role? Because of course we want to be sustainable. Of course we want to express our creative freedom, but man, the whole point of this technology is to make money off of it, to be successful, to find success in doing what we want to do. So how, what type of education you know, what's a tip that can lead into people wanting to go into the summit or the Creative Juneteenth, because that first day is an educational day, which is super important. I think that's great to know. But what would you give to people to, you know, feel comfortable about taking this next step, right?
I would say, and I'm gonna echo Deidre in that this is a safe place for us. You come into the room and you're going to see faces that look like yours. You're going to hear voices that sound like yours. And we're going to be there to break this down into simple terms. What we often see in tech, we see it in law, we see it in any place where you have specialized knowledge. Folks create their own jargon and they make it more complicated than it is.
Talk about it.
Oh, this is a non-fungible token. And that just sounds scary. But no, this is just another way to capture, add value, and to share value. That's it.
Yeah.
We're doing it in a digital space, and we're doing it in such a way that it is accessible. Another thing that we can think about is we're not bound by the current limitations of how this is thought of. So take, for example, an artist that has a piece of art and it's digitized and now it's an NFT. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, you can have a single owner and a single address for that NFT, but you could take it a step further. The technology is such that you could, now this doesn't exist right now, but you could tokenize that single NFT. Why? How come 1 million people can't have a piece of that art?
Right.
Why can't the artist have a piece of art worth $1 million, but still have the whole community take part?
Fractional ownership.
Right. That's what blockchain, that's what digital currencies unlocked, is that fractional, like you can break it down to this minuscule piece. Now I don't need to have a whole Bitcoin. I don't need to have a whole GUAPCOIN. I can have a piece of it, and I can still interact and be a part of the community. And ultimately, why GUAPCOIN is here is we are creating community through digital means. That's it. Like the technology in 5 years will be different than what it is today. The technology in 10 years will be different than what it is today. But GUAPCOIN as a movement, as a community, will be here.
Yeah.
And so the blockchain ideally as well, right? As it exists currently. And I think that's a really important point. Two of the things I wanted to say. I love Mark Cuban's definition for NFTs. He says NFTs are simply a new way to own things. That is the simplest explanation I've ever heard for what NFTs are. And then the second part that I love is the sense of cooperative economics. And, you know, when we get back into an Afrocentric way of viewing how these types of tools and resources exist, but also how we as Brown people, Indigenous people, how we as Black people interact with and think about working with one another, other like-minded people for the culture. The beauty is the cooperative economics. The beauty is the Afrocentricity. The beauty is being able to come together with people, like you said, Jason, who look like you, who talk like you said, David, and experience a very unique opportunity to own some amazing art pieces. It's just a different way, I think, of interacting with this entire space and with one another. And the beauty of it, it's just another way. Deidre, I love this, because what you're doing, when I really started getting into the sort of mechanics of it and looked into your background and did a little due diligence, I'm saying to myself, I can't wait to talk to Jamil about how we as Black Tech Futures Media and Deidre doing what he's doing with this Creative Juneteenth event. It's sort of like a different side of the same coin. Right. It's just different ways to reach the culture and educate people and really bring them into these experiences. And I got my ticket. How do people get tickets?
Good question. Thank you again for that support and the platform to kind of share our endeavors. You can get your complimentary ticket to Creative Juneteenth. If you go to subsumesummit.com, that's SUBSUME, subsumesummit.com. We have these events 3 times a year. We celebrate Black Futures Month during Black History, celebrate Creative Juneteenth, and we normally have a fall holiday endeavor to kind of surmise the successes of the year. But if you go there, we have tickets on Eventbrite, but you can go right to that, our website, subsumesummit.com, and learn about this NFT crypto cooperative program and much more as we celebrate the holiday and basically look to collaborate together.
Nice, lovely.
All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
I know that Deidre has to step out now because I know you have another meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely respect that. Guys, subsumesummit.com. Please check this out. First day is going to be educational, and then the next 2 days, just checking out the gallery, looking into it, and buy something. Put a bid on something.
Starts Friday, guys. Starts Friday, the 18th.
Keith Cross is the featured artist, correct?
Keith Cross, yes, Keith
Yes.
Cross, feature artist, creator of Day Black. That'll be, and I think if you look it up in Variety, it'll be a movie. It has some type of movie deal thing going on. That young man, he has a lot of promise. So we absolutely are privileged to have him and want to give him all credit.
All right, absolutely. Nice. Guys, please check it out. Please check it out. We can't wait to check it out. We're going to document it as well and talk about our experiences for those, who couldn't make it. But yeah, we're super excited to check it out. Super excited to just, keep up with you guys and see what's next. I would love for there to be a future where we can all, get together someday and work on something. But we're definitely going to keep in touch till then. Guys, thank you so much for this.
Check us out, NFTcreativetraders.com. I know that's what he was about to say.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for giving a voice for GUAPCOIN. That's guapcoin.org. Check us out, get involved. You can also check out the foundation. It's a nonprofit that is the educational and outreach arm of GUAPCOIN. That's guapfoundation.org. Reach out to me. I'm on Telegram. We're on Instagram. Reach out, link in, and we're ready to come alongside you, teach you if you don't know it. If you do know, let's partner.
And we already warned you that we will be doing a lot of work with GUAPCOIN and the GUAP Foundation. So we had Maven on the show a few weeks ago. We're really happy to host Jason and Deidre. I'm just loving it, man. I can't wait to do some work with you and, for the culture. Right?
You're here.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Have a great
day.
Thank
you, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.